Good evening, all the joinees. Hi, this is Ansu. I welcome you all to the webinar conducted by Engine Markets. By the time the others join in, let's have a look at today's webinar topic. So, today our major focus is on how you can onboard portfolio, specifically client portfolio, or let's say a prospective client's portfolio onto the system, and how you can go forward with a portfolio analysis. So, in terms of onboarding client portfolios, we have in total four methods of onboarding portfolios. First, being the RTA integration, wherein all the clients under your ARN can get onboarded onto our system and you can run an analysis on those portfolios. Following that, we have an ECAS uploading feature. Next will be an ISIN upload feature. And lastly, there will be the normal traditional way of how you can manually create a portfolio and then run an analysis on the same. Following that, post uploading, we will be looking at how is the analysis and how do you understand the analysis when you compare the portfolio against the benchmark. And lastly, we will be looking upon the asset allocation of the total portfolio and the overlaps, which will tell up the common stocks between every two component in the portfolio. And lastly, the quorum would be open for a Q&A session. You could either unmute yourself or type down your question in the chat box, which will be specific to today's topic. So let us begin. So this is our landing page on Engine Markets, which is the Markets tab. So for our topic related webinar, we will be moving towards this clients section, which is the third last tab. In the client section, we will be first looking upon a feature called as RTA connection. So this is a section wherein all the clients that will be registered through your ARN can get onboarded onto our system and you will be able to view their portfolio onto this left hand side. Now on our system, we facilitate multiple ARN onboardings as well. You can either have a consolidated view of the same. If not, you can also have an individual ARN view as well. Once you click onto the individual ARN view, this is the dashboard that will come across. Firstly, it will tell you what is the total AUM that is there for this respective ARN and the total number of clients that make up to this total AUM. Following that, what is the average AUM per client of yours out of the total AUM? And then what amount or what AUM is constituting the top 10 clients of your ARN. You can change this to maybe top 20, let's say, and then you also see it constitutes to what percent of your total AUM. Following that, we have an option called as client holding search. Now, let's say you quickly want to know which all are those clients that hold onto a specific fund that you're looking for. For example, you want to see which clients hold onto HDFC focused funds. You simply search for the name of that respective fund, click on it, and it gives you a list. Currently, it says that under this ARN, there are three clients that have HDFC focused fund in their portfolio, and next to them you get to see basic details. First thing that you see is next to the name of the client is the AUM, that is the total AUM that is there for this client. Out of this total AUM, how much is held into this fund that we are talking about, HDFC focused fund, is shown up towards this column called as holding. And lastly, the holding percentage column will tell you in terms of percentage what amount or what percent is held into this fund out of the total AUM. So, in a similar way, you can search for the fund name. All you need to do is search for the respective fund name, click on the respective fund, and then you get to see the details. What is the total AUM? How much out of the total AUM the client holds into the funds that you have searched, and the percentage correspondence of the same. Following that, the next section will show you the top mutual fund exposures under your ARN. Currently, when we are looking upon this demo data, just by keeping your cursor on these bar graphs, you can see under this ARN, 9.04 crore of the clients have iPru Value Fund in their portfolio, followed by iPru Balanced Advantage and Aditya Birla Flexi Cap, and so on. Next to that, if you scroll further below, you can come across this asset class differentiation. Out of the total AUM, what is the split between equity, hybrid, debt, and others? The asset class explanation. And next to that, you get to see the AMC level exposure. That is to say that which AMC is heavily weighted under your ARN at the moment. And next to that, you see your data and setting. So this is the section from which you can see as to which date is your data updated. Now, initially, as I mentioned, this is an integration. RTA connection is an integration that happens from our backend, which is to say that in the integration, we will be setting in filters and forwards on your registered mail ID for your ARN to retrieve CAMS and CARVI file. So specifically for CAMS, we will be ordering WBR4, and for CARVI, we will be ordering MFSD 203 as well as MFSD 310. So these are specifically the current holding files that we will be ordering for your ARN, and we order these files twice a week, and you will be able to view their update date, onto which date has this file been updated, just mentioned below. And basis this update, your client data will start showing up towards the left. All you could do will be click on the name of your respective client, and currently we have also added a feature of showing the PAN number of the client. For example, let's say there are 2 or 3 Rakesh Kumar under my ARN. Just so that it could be differentiated, we have started showing the PAN number of the clients as well. Now, once you click on the name of that respective client, this is the interface that comes up. Firstly, it will tell you what is the total AUM for this portfolio and what are the total number of holdings in this portfolio. Next to that, you can see the section which will tell you what are the components that form a part of this portfolio. Following that, what are their units? For each scheme, what are the latest units, which when multiplied with the fund's NAV, you get to see what is the current value. And this value, when converted into percentage format, comes up into this percentage column that you see respectively. Following that, there are few icons that you can view right here. First icon is this compare icon. If you click onto this icon, all the constituents that are there in the portfolio will directly move towards this compare section, which can enable you to do fund level comparison, or rather fund level analysis. Following that, there are 2 copy icons. The first copy icon, if you click onto it, will copy this entire portfolio of Mr. Rakesh Kumar to our portfolios section. And the second copy icon will convert, or rather copy, the entire portfolio of Mr. Rakesh Kumar to the manual data tab. Now, why is it that we have given this option of copy is, let's say you wish to kind of edit this portfolio. Since these are the clients that we receive, or rather show onto the system through your RTA feeds, right here, when you're looking at this portfolio, you will not be able to edit this portfolio under the RTA connection tab. Hence, we have given you the option of this copy so that you can take it either to the portfolio section or to the manual data section and edit those portfolios if you wish to make certain modifications and see how it would look like. That is the reason we have given these 2 icons. And then is this Excel icon, which will give all these details that you see simply into an Excel file. Now, post
Excuse me, madam, can you please repeat this? Yeah.
We will be taking up
These two icons, what are they for?
Sure, madam. We will be taking up the questions towards the end of the session so that the flow of the webinar is not broken. You can anytime take up the questions once the webinar is done. The topic specific discussion is done. You can take up your questions. Following that, once you click on Run Analytics, this will give you a detailed portfolio level analysis of the components that we saw right here in this portfolio section. So this was all about RTA connection. Next to that, we have is this manual data tab in the client section itself. So once you go to manual data, in this section, there is an option called as add single client, which once clicked will give you an option called as add manually. Now, this is a section wherein, as I highlighted, you can create portfolios just by typing in the name of the schemes. So you simply give a name to this portfolio, click on add client, and then search for the name of the fund or name of the stock. You can also add in stocks to it. So similarly, you can search for the name of the fund or the stock. Following that, there are two columns that comes up onto your end, units as well as current value. You can input either of these two columns and the other column will get automatically captured. For example, if I input units in this fund and click outside, the current value gets captured. And similarly, if I input the current value, the unit gets captured. So similarly, if you keep on adding all the schemes and inputting either of these data, now how does the data gets picked up? If let's say I have input and unit, how does it arrive to a current value? Next to it, you can see the latest price or the latest NAV. It simply multiplies or divides to arrive at either the units or the current value. And then you simply click on done. And this is how you can manually create and save a portfolio of your own. Now, this section, this interface is exactly similar what we had a look upon in the RTA connection. This is the first page. The details are exactly similar. All you need to do will be click on Run Analytics to go forward with a detailed portfolio analysis for the portfolio you just created. Following that, in the clients section itself, we have brought in an additional feature for all our NJ users. So in this manual data itself, there is a tab called as add single client and the feature is called as add NJ format. So right here, if you upload the scheme wise valuation report Excel file, which is anytime available in your NJ interface, NJ platform, all you need to do will be click on upload and upload your scheme wise valuation report Excel file. In a similar way, you will be able to go forward with a portfolio analysis for each of your client. So these were the three ways how you can upload portfolios specifically in the client section. Now we will be moving towards this second last tab called as portfolios. And right here, we have two ways of uploading portfolios onto our system. First will be an ECAS, Consolidated Account Statement Upload Facility. So for that, there are two steps in total. First is you need to open this tab called as Statement Analyzer. Once you click on this, it opens up a new page which allows you to upload ECAS files, consolidated account statements, either from NSDL, CDSL, or CAMS. And once you upload these files, our system will be capturing the MFs as well as stocks if there are any. Now, we every time say that this has to be the original PDF file with the password. Without any modification, you are supposed to upload it onto the system. Now, how do you go about it will be you simply click on choose file. You select the file that is there onto your end. Input the password and then click on check file. So this gives you a prompt that this is a recognized file type, which is a CDSL, post which you can input a label. If not, you can skip this step totally and then select process and save file. So within few seconds, your portfolio or the CAS that you just uploaded will show up towards this right. So you can see the label is something that I had input. What is the file name, the client's name? The file type is CDSL. It was uploaded today and the time comes up. And what is the AUM of this file also comes up. Now, let's say if you want to know or just have a quick look of how many funds are there or how many stocks are there in this portfolio, you can click on this notepad kind of an icon. It gives you a quick view if there are any funds, the amount and the total number of funds that form a part of it will come up. And if there are any stocks, these columns will also come up. So you can quickly have a view as to how many funds and how many stocks form a part of this CAS file. So this is the first step. As I highlighted, you upload it onto the system. Now to run an analysis on the same, the second step will be going back to the platform. In the portfolio section itself, there is a plus icon called as add a new portfolio. And we have this option called as load statement analyzer. Once you click on it, the CAS files that you would have uploaded will show up. All you need to do is click on this plus icon. So you can see the components that were there in the CAS file have come up into this section. They have gotten segregated basis debt, equity, others, or if there happens to be any stock, it will be classified as under the stock section as well. Once that is done, you can see that the allocation has come up to 100. The file name will be automatically picked up. If let's say you want to change the name or you want to edit the name, you could anytime do that. And then you see there are two options, create and run. Now, if you click on run, you will be able to do a portfolio analysis. However, the portfolio will not be saved onto your login. You will be required to do the total process all over again. Hence, we say that every time you should click on create so that your portfolio will get saved onto your login. And then you can run an analysis on the same. So this is the way how you can upload a CAS file onto the system and you can run an analysis on the same. Following that, the second way of uploading a portfolio in the portfolio section is more or less an Excel upload feature. So to go forward with is you just need to click again onto this plus icon called as add a new portfolio. And then the option is called as load ISINs from Excel. Once you click on it, this page comes up wherein in this gray section, you are supposed to input two data set. First has to be the ISIN number. The first column has to be the ISIN number. And the second column could be either the percent or the amount or the corresponding units or shares. Either of the three could be the second column. The first has to be an ISIN number. So I have an Excel sheet ready with me wherein I have the ISIN and the respective weights. So all I'll be doing is I'll be copying this data and I'll paste it right here. Post that, you just let the system know what has been taken in the second column and then you simply validate the data. So once you validate it, the scheme name automatically gets picked up basis the ISIN and the allocation accordingly comes up. Post this, you can give a name to this portfolio. And then, as I highlighted, create will ensure that the portfolio is saved into your login. And then you can click on run to go forward with a portfolio level analysis. So when you look upon the portfolio analysis onto our system, This is the first section which will tell you what are the components that form a part of your portfolio and their respective allocations. Following that, you get to see an option called as start and end date, which you have an option or flexibility to change from your end. We have provided certain predefined time periods. You can select and input your respective time periods as well. So let's say I take a 5 year ago time period for analysis. So you can see the performance comparison is coming in for a period of 5 years. Now, talking about performance comparison, this graphical chart has two line charts. The blue line is showing you the performance of the portfolio, and the black line is showing you the performance of the benchmark. Now, talking about benchmark, it is currently mentioned as a reference index 2 rebased. Now, what does this mean? To understand this in detail, you can simply scroll up and view it towards this right hand side of the page. So, we have a feature called as automatic benchmarking on our platform. So, you could see that the benchmark is mentioned as reference index 2. Now, if you want to know what does this stand for, you can be onto this engine section and click on this gray section called as search reference indices. So we have 11 predefined benchmarks available onto our system, which are typically combinations of Nifty 50 TRI and CCIL bond index. Now, the system is automatically picking up one benchmark. How is it that happening? Is basis the asset allocation split of the portfolio. So, basis the equity and debt split of every portfolio, the platform is automatically picking up one benchmark. Currently, it has picked up reference index 2. However, the user has the flexibility to select anything from this list that they see. If not, let's say they want to select a benchmark maybe from NSE, or let's say they want to select it from BSE, or for that matter, they want to customize and create their own benchmark. That flexibility exists. So, in this custom as an option, you can go to this manage custom indices, and from this drop down that we have provided, you have the option to add benchmarks of your choice. So at the moment, I'm just randomly adding in 3 or 4 benchmarks. Once they have been added in, you can give them an allocation of your choice and simply give this a name. Make sure it comes up to 100. Give this a name and then you can save your index. And within few seconds, your index gets saved, which then can be selected from this search bar option from the benchmark search box. So this is how you can change and create your own benchmark as well. Now, coming back to the performance comparison, graphically speaking, we could see that our portfolio, which is the blue line, is indeed beating the benchmark and outperforming the benchmark in the time period of 5 years that we are looking upon. Now, the statistical details for the same is also available towards the right. Firstly, we have cumulative return, which is called as the absolute, or rather the point to point return from the start date till the end date. How has the changes happened? So it says that for a portfolio, it is to an extent of 123.7%, while for the benchmark, it is to an extent of 87.6%. Following that, what is the CAGR return is also available, which is 17.4 for the portfolio and 13.4 for the benchmark. Now, to generate this return, what was the risk? The volatility that was considered, the standard deviation, happens to be 11% for the portfolio and 12% for that of the benchmark. So, you could say that your portfolio generated a better return with a lower level of risk in this time period of 5 years that we are looking upon. And you can also see that in terms of its Sharpe ratio, which is the risk adjusted return, which is indeed higher for our portfolio at 0.89 when compared to the benchmark, which is at 0.55. Following that, you can come across these parameters which we call as versus the reference index. More or less, you get to see the relative returns of the portfolio. Firstly, it tells you cumulative excess on benchmark, which is to say over and above of the benchmark, what is the excess return generated by the portfolio. So since there has been an outperformance by the portfolio, you could see a positive excess return has been generated to an extent of 36%. Following that, you could also see the capture ratios, the up capture and the down capture. Up capture specifically lets us know how does the portfolio perform when the benchmark was in a bull run. Now, this is the figure that you see for the capture ratios. How do we arrive at this figure? There is an explanation once you click on the I button. So it says that when we are talking about up capture, we will only consider those months wherein the benchmark generated a positive return, irrespective the portfolio generated a positive or a negative return. For example, in the month of Jan 2022, the portfolio had a positive return, but the benchmark had a negative. Sorry, the benchmark had a positive return, but the portfolio had a negative return. But still, the negative return is also considered. Why? Because we give consideration to the benchmark return at that respective time. Now, once we have all these month on month returns, we take a CAGR of these data set, and these are the results that come up to your end. So it says that when the benchmark was going up by 40%, the portfolio went up by 43%, which is to say, just by looking at these figures, you can say that when benchmark was in a bull run, your portfolio was able to beat the benchmark. And how do we arrive at the capture ratio is the portfolio return divided by the benchmark return is how we arrive at this 106.5. And we say higher the up capture, the better it is. And by higher we mean more than 100, the better it is. And similarly, converse will be the down capture ratio. This will tell you how does a portfolio perform when the benchmark was in a bear run. So, in a similar way, we consider only those months when the benchmark generated a negative return and corresponding returns generated by the portfolio is considered. Similarly, a CAGR of these data set is what we come up with. So it says that when the benchmark was falling down by 25%, the portfolio fell down by 20% only. Hence, we see some level of resilience in terms of the portfolio is what we can see right here. And for down capture, we say the lower the better, that is less than 100, the better it is. Now, why do we consider 100 to be the parameter is? The benchmark is always considered to be at 100. So up capture, more than 100 the better, and down capture, less than 100 the better. Following that, we come to these monthly and yearly charts. So firstly, you can see number has been mentioned as 61 under all. So it says that in this time period that we are looking upon from the start till end date, there are a total of 61 months, out of which 41 months the portfolio gave in an up performance and 20 months the portfolio gave in a down performance. Now, this is out of 100 when we come up to a percentage. It says out of 100, 67% of times the portfolio was up and 32% of times the portfolio was down. Following that, it tells you what was the best return generated when the portfolio was in the up months and the worst return generated when the portfolio was in the down months. And similar statistics are available when you talk about yearly returns as well. Following that, we move towards the asset allocation page. Now, asset allocation will tell you the total exposure that is there towards the portfolio. Now, next to HDFC Bank, for example, it says 40.49 is the exposure. Now, where is this coming from? You can click on the I button. So it says that there are these 5 or 4 odd funds that form a part of this portfolio, and these funds hold HDFC Bank as a stock in its portfolio. Hence, an indirect exposure is coming from HDFC Bank towards the total portfolio. Now, how do you understand it? So, next to the name of the fund, JM Large Cap, it is mentioned as 14.4 under the section called as Your Portfolio, which says that in this portfolio, JM Large Cap has an allocation to an extent of 14.47. Out of that, JM Large Cap has 9.02% of HDFC Bank in its portfolio. And basis that, we arrive at a weighted average exposure, which is just a multiplication of this 14.4 with this 9%. Hence, we arrive at a weighted average exposure. And once you total this exposure column, it comes up to the figure that you see onto your screen. Now, on our system, we show you minuscule level of exposures as well. If you scroll down, you'll end up seeing very small level of exposures as well, to an extent of 0.028. Where is that coming from? We also show that as well. So we show the total exposure towards the portfolio. Following that, we have the concentration tab, which can tell you the equity market cap exposure of this portfolio. So there are two ways of looking at it, either as percent of total portfolio or as percent of equity exposure. So first we're looking upon as percent of total portfolio. So right here, we will be splitting this equity, which is then coming to an extent of 80%, when this equity is split into large, mid and small cap. It comes to 54% of large cap, 11% of mid cap, and 13% of small cap. Now, everything other than equity of 80% will be categorized as others in this pie section. And now, if you look at it as percent of equity exposure, right here, we are considering this equity exposure of 80% to be as 100%. And then we show you the differentiation, or rather split, in terms of the large, mid and small cap. Following that, we have is this equity sectors tab, which tell you which sectors are heavily weighted towards the portfolio. You can also click on that tile and it will tell you from that sector which all are the stocks that have exposure towards the portfolio. In addition to that, we also have the AMC exposure tab, which will tell you which AMC and the funds from that AMC have exposure towards the portfolio once you click onto that bar graph. And lastly, we have is this overlaps tab. So this is a matrix structure that tells you the common underlying between every two fund that you are looking upon. Now, for easy identification, we have provided you with color coordinations. So you see, as soon as your overlap keeps on getting darker, the overlap keeps on getting higher, the color keeps on getting darker. As it goes beyond 40, it could be either a yellow, pink, or a red. So that a quick and an easy identification is possible that yes, these two funds indeed have common stocks which are higher than 40. Now, how do you read the data is, you simply keep your cursor on the tile that you look for. For example, I've kept it on this 29. So on the left, it is JM large cap that gets highlighted. And on top, it is iPru multi-asset fund that gets highlighted, which says that these two funds have common stock to an extent of 29%. So if you want to see which all are the common stocks, you can click on that tile and it gives you an explanation for the same. So it says that JM and iPru multi-asset fund has all these stocks in common. Now, how do you read it? For example, if we try to understand it for Reliance Industries. So it says that JM Large Cap has Reliance Industries to an extent of 6.2% in its portfolio. And similarly, iPru multi-asset has Reliance Industry to an extent of 3.2% in its portfolio. Now, minimum out of the two is what we consider for the purpose of overlap. And once we total this last column of overlap, it comes to this 29% that you can also see onto this tile-like structure. And as I highlighted, we also provide color coordinations for the same. So that is it for the topic related webinar. If there is any question from anyone, you can either unmute yourself or type down your questions in the chat box. Any questions, please let us know. Okay, so there's a question in the chat box. If I can repeat about the RTA connection, yes. So RTA connection is available in the client section. On top, there's a feature called as RTA connection. So this is a integration, a backend integration, which we provide for all our premium and pro users, wherein we will be setting in certain filters and forwards onto your registered mail ID for your ARN, and we will retrieve two files from your mail back. So for CAMS, it will be WBR4, and for Carvi, it will be MFSD 203 and MFSD 310. So once we have these files, your client data will start showing up towards the right. We update these files twice a week, and then you can click on the name of that client. You get to see their latest holdings that are there in the portfolio, that is the schemes and their latest units. And then once you click on run analytics, you can go forward with the detailed portfolio analysis. Any more questions? Please let us know.
I think, Anshu, we can close it for the day.
Okay, sir. All right. Thank you all for joining in. You can anytime visit our YouTube page. We have a dedicated playlist for all the webinars that have been conducted up until now. Today's webinar will also be updated by next week. Thank you all for joining in. Hope to see you again next week with a new topic. Thank you.